Two butterflies resting together, symbols of love that never ends. Their story began long ago in ancient China. A love so pure, it defied every rule and still lives on today. This is the butterfly lovers, the Romeo and Juliet of the East. Over the next 45 minutes, I'll be your guide through their world, through passion, heartbreak, and transformation. So take a deep breath, sit back, relax, and let the music and their story carry you away. The world is quiet now. Imagine soft clouds resting over green hills. The air filled with the scent of morning mist and blooming plum blossoms. The sun has not yet fully risen, and everything feels fresh and new, a gentle promise of change. In this still, ancient land, there lives a young woman named Zhu Yingtai. Her eyes are bright with curiosity, her heart full of wonder. She lives in a time when women are told to stay home, to study only weaving of silk and the manners of grace. But Zhu Yingtai dreams of something more. She dreams of learning, of books and poems, of words that open windows to new worlds. And so, one early morning, as the first birds begin to sing, Zhu makes a quiet decision. She wraps her hair beneath a scholar's cap, dressed in robes like a young man, and looks into the mirror. The reflection gazes back, a calm face, determined but gentle. Her disguise complete, she steps into a soft dawn and begins her journey. The road winds like a silver ribbon through valleys and streams. The air carries the songs of unseen birds and the rustle of bamboo. Each step she takes feels lighter, as though the wind itself is guiding her forward. Days pass softly. Villages fade behind her, replaced by forests whispering secrets. As she walks, she feels a growing sense of freedom, as if every breath she takes loosens an invisible thread of worry, leaving her lighter and more alive. One afternoon, beneath the cool shade of an old willow, she sees another traveler resting by the roadside. A young man dressed in scholar's robes, reading from the scroll. His expression is kind and focused. When he looks up, their eyes meet, and for a moment, the world seems to still. He smiles gently. "Are you traveling to Hangzhou as well?" he asks, his voice calm as flowing water. Zhu nods, keeping her disguise steady. Yes, she says softly, and so begins their journey together. His name is Liang Shanbo, a humble, thoughtful scholar with eyes that hold both wisdom and warmth. They walk side by side, their conversation easy, filled with laughter and stories of dreams. The road stretches long, but together it feels shorter, lighter. They speak of poems, of rivers, of the stars that appear each evening above their campfire. Zhu listens to his voice and feels something inside her stir, a quiet warmth, like sunlight gently touching her heart. At night, as they rest beneath the moon, the world feels safe and endless. The crickets sing, the fire crackles softly, and in the silence between words, something beautiful begins to grow. Not yet love, but something that might one day become it. Weeks pass. They reach the gates of the school. Stone walls surrounded by trees heavy with spring blossoms. The air hums with the sound of students reciting verses and brushes moving across paper. They share a small study room, 2 desks side by side. Day after day, they read together, learn together, laugh together. Liang never suspects her secret. To him, Zhu Yingtai is simply his closest friend, a companion who understands him like no other. To her, he becomes everything. When he reads aloud, she listens not just to the words, but to the music of his voice. When he smiles, her heart feels weightless. And when she catches her gazing at him for too long, she reminds herself to look away, to breathe, to be still. Outside their window, the seasons drift softly, spring to summer, summer to autumn. The trees change color, and the air grows cool again, but their friendship remains warm, bright as ever. Sometimes, when the day's lessons end, they walk together along the river bank. The water glows with the reflection of lanterns, and the world feels far away. Zhu wishes the moment could last forever, but she knows, deep down, that nothing stays unchanged. The sound of the river carries her thoughts away, soft and distant. She looks at Liang and smiles. He smiles back, unaware of quiet storm blooming within her chest. And so their days continue, peaceful, gentle, and full of unspoken things. And you rest now, imagine that some soft river flowing beside you, the gentle current, the distant rustle bamboo, the calmness of every light touching your skin. Your breath is slow and steady. Your body is light. You are floating, just as Zhu and Liang once did, carried by time, surrounded by peace. Time moves like a slow river. Days become weeks. Weeks become seasons. And still, Zhu Yingtai and Liang Shanbo walk side by side through every moment of their learning. The school is quiet in the mornings. The sunlight spills across the wooden floors, and dust motes drift lazily through the beams of light. The soft sound of brushes against paper fills the room like falling rain. Sometimes Leon reads poetry aloud. His voice carries warmth, deep and calm. Zhu listens, eyes closed, pretending to study, but really she's memorizing the rhythm of his breath, the way the pauses before each line. In the afternoons, they walk through the gardens. The air is heavy with the scents of magnolia and the gentle hum of bees. A small pond mirrors the sky, broken only the slow ripples of koi gliding beneath the surface. They sit beneath a willow tree, and Leon sketches the falling leaves. Zhu rides quietly beside him. Neither says much. They don't need to. The silence between them is full, like music without sound. And though her secret weighs softly on her, Zhu feels no fear. Around Leon, everything feels pure and safe, and if the world itself is protecting them. As months pass, their bond grows deeper, not with grand gestures, but with small kindnesses. When Leon studies too late, Zhu brings him tea. When she struggles with a different passage, he explains it gently, never impatient. When rain falls and the courtyard fills with silver puddles, they walk together beneath a single umbrella, their shoulders almost touching, lava spilling softly into the storm. Those moments linger long after the rain ends. At night, Zhu lies awake listening to the distant sound of crackers, wondering if he can hear them too. She wonders if her heart feels the same quiet longing, that once there's not sadness, not joy, but something tender in between. But she says nothing. How could she? To reveal herself might mean losing everything: the school, their friendship, his trust. And yet, each day, her secret grows heavier, like the gentle pull of a tide she cannot resist. One morning, as the first chill of autumn brushes through the trees, they walk along the path lined with golden leaves. Liang is speaking about the future, how he hopes to serve as a teacher one day, how he dreams of peace and quiet study by the mountains. Zhu smiles faintly. That sounds beautiful, she says, her voice soft. But tell me, Shanbo, would you ever wish for something else? For someone to share those days with you? He looks at her, but smiling. Of course, a good friend, a kind wife, someone who understands. But life is long, and dreams take time. She nods, her eyes lowered. A leaf falls between them, golden and slow. She whispers, perhaps when the time comes, I could introduce to someone. My sister, perhaps, she's gentle and kind. I think you would like her. Liang laughs softly, not catching the meaning behind her words. Your sister? Then I would be honored to meet her someday. She smiles, though her heart feels both warm and heavy. A secret woven tighter with every heartbeat. Winter arrives quietly. The air grows crisp. The nights longer. Lanterns grow through the snow like stars falling to earth. Inside their study, the air is thick with candlelight and a soft scent of ink. Liang is bent over his scrolls. Zhu watches him, committing every line of his face to memory. The calm of his brow, the kindness in his eyes. Sometimes he catches her gaze, and they both laugh gently, pretending it was nothing. But between them, something wordless begins to stir, a feeling that neither can name. And so the seasons turn again. Spring returns with plum blossoms fluttering like pale butterflies across the sky. The air hums with life, the rivers full and singing, their studies near an end. Zhu feels time slipping like water through her fingers. Soon she will have to return home, and with her departure, her secret must be revealed or buried forever. She tries to be brave, but that night, as she watches the moon rise over the courtyard, her heart aches with quiet fear of losing what feels more real than any dream. In her mind, she whispers the words she cannot speak aloud. Liang Shanbo, my friend, my heart knows your name like it knows the wind. But you see only the scholar beside you, not the woman who loves you. The moonlight spills across her hands, silver and soft, and if trying to comfort her, she closes her eyes and breathes deeply. Outside, the world sleeps. Inside, love's ways, quiet, patient, and unspoken. Now, let your own breathe slow again. Imagine that moonlight, silver, still, flowing over your face. Feel how calm it is, how it smooths the edges of thought. You are warm, safe, and weightless, drifting in a story that moves and gently as wind through the trees. When the first cranes returned to the lake and the blossoms began to open again, word came from Zhu Yingtai's family. She must return home. The message was polite but firm. Her parents believed their daughter had studied long enough. That evening, Zhu sat beside the pond where she and Learn often read. The surface of the water trembled with pale reflections of lantern light. A cool wind brushed against her sleeve. Leon came to find her. He carried 2 cups of tea, the steam curling upward like tiny ghosts. "You are quiet tonight," he said quietly. She smiled, small and wistful. "I have had a letter. My family asked me to return for a time." His face softened. "You'll come back, won't you?" She looked down at the water, unable to meet his eyes. Perhaps soon. They sat together in silence. Around them, the frogs began to sing, and the night felt endless. Finally, she spoke again, her voice a whisper. "Before I go, I want to ask you something." He nodded. "If you ever wish to marry, remember this name, Zhu Yingtai's sister. Tell my parents you met her through me." Learn laughed, the sound bright and unsuspecting. "Then I shall, my friend. I trust your judgment in all things." She smiled again, but her heart trembled. The stars above buried, not from distance, but from tears she would not shed. The next morning, she packed her few belongings, brushes, scrolls, a worn book of poems he had once lent her. Leung walked with her to the edge of the school grounds. The road stretched away between fields of the early green rice. "I will visit soon," he promised, "to meet your family and that mysterious sister." She nodded, keeping her voice steady. "I'll wait." They bowed to each other, and she turned away, afraid that if she looked back, she would never be able to leave. Days become weeks. The journey home was long and quiet. Without Liang's laughter, the road felt heavier, the sky larger. At home, the garden was just as she had left it. yet everything seemed smaller. Her parents rejoiced at her return, though they did not know the secret she carried, the ache that had become a part of her breathing. Soon, news came of a marriage arrangement. Her parents had promised her hand to the son of a wealthy merchant. The family name would rise. The match was considered perfect. Zhu Yingtai listened in silence. Inside her chest, something gentle began to break. That night, she stood beneath the plum tree, watching petals fall like pale snow. The moon was bright, the air cool against her skin. She thought of Liang's voice, his calm patience, the warmth of his friendship. And she whispered to the night, "I am bound, and he does not know." Far away in the city, Liang Shanbo continued his studies. He often found himself turning to speak to her, only to remember she was gone. He would smile at the thought of her letter, of the sister he had yet to meet. One day, unable to ignore the longing any longer, he set out for her home. The journey took several days, across hills wrapped in mist and bridges echoing with the sound of his footsteps. When he arrived, the servants greeted him politely and led him to the garden pavilion. Zhu Yingtai came to meet him, no longer dressed as a scholar, but in a pale gown that shimmered like morning light. Her hair flowed freely, her eyes bright with a mixture of joy and fear. For a moment, Liang did not recognize her. Then he saw the familiar kindness in her smile, and realization washed over him like a wave. "Yingtai," he breathed, stepping forward. She bowed her head, tears shining. "It was always me, Shanbo. I could not tell you then." For a heartbeat, the world was silent. Then Liang laughed softly, the sound trembling with wonder and sorrow. "All this time," he whispered, "and I never saw." They sat together beneath the same willow that had once shaded their friendship. Words came slowly, gently, like petals carried by wind. They spoke of their years of study, of shared laughter, of what might have been. When the last light of day faded, Liang's eye grew distant. "Your parents, will they allow us to be together?" Zhu Yingtai looked down. "They have already chosen another one for me." The silence that followed was soft but endless. Liang's hands trembled as he reached for hers. "Then let this moment be enough," he said quietly. "The world may not grant us more, but tonight we have truth." They sat there until the moon rose high, until the dew gathered on the grass and the first bird called from the dark. When at last they part, neither spoke of hope nor despair. They only looked at one another for a long, long time, as if trying to memorize every breath. Now, breathe again. Let that soft night settle inside you. Imagine moonlight on still water, cool air brushing your skin, a sense of quiet understanding. There is no hurry, no need to reach the ending, just the calm of two souls seeing one another clearly for the first time. The days passed like drifting clouds. Liang Shanbo's health began to wane, though he did not speak of it aloud. Each morning, he walked the familiar paths, quietly carried the weight of unspoken love. Zhu Yingtai returned to her family home. She moved through her days with the gentle grace, performing her duties, yet inside her heart, a quiet storm of longing never ceased. The day of her wedding arrived. The day she was to leave her family home and marry another. The sky was soft and overcast, as if the heavens themselves were reflecting the sorrow of the moment. Lanterns hung from the eaves, mute against the gray light. The blossoms of early spring trembled in the wind, falling slowly to the ground like gentle rain. Zhu Yingtai rode in her carriage toward the ceremony. Her hands folded calmly in her lap. Her heart, however, was elsewhere, with Liang, who had been her companion, her friend, her secret love. As they approached the hill where Liang Shanbo had recently fallen ill and passed away, the carriage slowed. The wind carried a strange soft sound, like a sign from the earth itself. Zhu could not stop the tears. She dismounted and walked toward his grave. The soil was fresh. The flowers she had planted in secret swaying lightly. Her heart ached in a rhythm she could barely contain. "I am here," she whispered, her voice trembling. "I'm always with you." The sky seemed to darken for a moment. Clouds moving with unusual swiftness. A hush fell over the trees, and the petals that had been falling now hovered, suspended in the air. And then, slowly, impossibly, the earth beneath her seemed to open. A soft light glimmered, gentle and warm, enveloping her entirely. The wind lifted her hair, her gown, her very being. And when the light faded, two butterflies emerged from the moss. one golden, one blue. They circled one another gracefully, lightly, free from the weight of sorrow, free from all the rules that had once bound them. Their wings brushed in a silent dance, carrying a lifetime of love and longing. No one could follow their flight, and yet their presence was felt, a whisper in the wind, a soft simmer among the blood. Zhu Yingtai and Liang Shanbo at last were together. No words, no sorrow, no duty, only freedom. And the world seemed a little softer for it. Even the rivers slowed in their gentle courses, and the night air carried a quiet lullaby meant for those who had hearts ready to rest. Now, in your mind, picture the two butterflies gliding gently above a quiet river. Feel the calms of their freedom, the lightness of their wings, the infinite softness of their love. You are weightless, like the butterflies. Your thoughts drift gently. Your body feels lighter. Your breathing is slow, rhythmic, and easy. The world is calm. You are safe. You are at peace. The two butterflies drift higher, their wings catching the soft light of the moon. They were no longer bound by the worries of the world, no longer weighed down by duty or sorrow. And just like them, you too are free in this moment. Your body is heavy and supple. Your mind can flow softly, carried on the gentle currents of your breath. Imagine the silver moonlight spilling over the quiet river, the water reflecting your own peaceful face. Hear nothing but the soft whisper of leaves brushing in the wind, a lullaby meant only for you. Even the smallest petal seems to pause mid-air, lingering as though it knows this moment is for rest. Think of Zhu and Liang not as distant figures, but as memory of calm, of gentle love, of patience and quiet understanding. They remind you, even when the world moves fast, even when things feel heavy, there is always a place for softness, for stillness, for peace. Breathe slowly now. In and out. With each exhale, release the last trace of tension. With each inhale, imagine drawing in warmth, calm, and gentle light. The night is deep and protective. The wind carries the faintest songs of rivers and blossoms. The sky stretches endlessly, soft and tender, wrapping you in quiet. Your thoughts drift like the butterflies, up, light, free. They rise and fall gently, with no need to hold on to anything. Everything is okay. Everything is calm. Everything is soft. Now, feel your eyelids growing heavier, the breath slower, your body sinking deeper into comfort. You are safe. You are warm. You are ready to drift. Let the sorry fade. Let the butterflies carry it away. And let yourself follow into sleep. Sleep comes easy now. The world is distant, gentle, and still. Your heart is calm. Your mind is calm. Your body is calm. And so, quietly